Welcome, today we learn how to develop C++ project in an hour. Standard input is keyboard and the standard output is the display screen. In between we have RAM, read-only memory. Due to these limitations we have to implement the file handling concept in our project. Class to store the data. Menu function to show the options to user. File stream to read and write data of file. Object to work with the data. Choice variable to store user option. Switch statement to execute the code as user choice.
Hello dear viewers, today we are going to learn that how to create a project in C++. So to create a project in C++, we have to use the secondary storage, that is your hard disk, rather than your RAM. In a normal program execution, the program just uses a RAM for its temporary storage, and your data is not a permanent in that particular case. So the approach is very simple, that we are going to create a simple program, then we are going to bind that program with the file. So now I'm going to use a class to declare my data in my project, and then in that class, whatever the data I want to work with, that should be the data member of my class, and the member function would be normal to display the data and to take the data from the user. And I'm going to use a file stream, and that file stream I'm going to fetch the data from the file, and with that file stream I'm going to write the data onto the file stream, and the data in the context that I'm going to write an object to the file, and that is known as a record. That record of one person I'm going to put into the file. And meanwhile, I want to do some operations, like I want to put my data. So first one would be okay. Let's take a look. First one would be the saving the data, fine, obviously to the file. So that is my first task. And second task is to display the content of the file. Means whatever the record I have stored so far in my file, I want to list down that. So it would be like display or list, or you can say show all records. Okay, so now the third step would be that I want to set some record into the file. So third one would be the search. Okay, fourth one, let's suppose I want to modify some data in my file. So my approach is to search that record. If that record is found, then I'm going to modify that record. So here I'm going to modify the data or record. So fifth one would be deleting some data. Deleting some record from file. So these are the operation which is required in a project, right? So now let's start developing a project. So the first one is a header files hash include stream hash include. So I want to deal with the file, so I'm including fstream, and obviously using namespace standard. So this is my int main, and return 0. So this is just a basic layout for the program. So now the first task is to show some menus, whatever we have stated over here, that the user is going to select some option, and the base of that option my logic is going to be executed. So I'm going to use a function over here with the name menu. So this would be my menu. Fine, I'm going to show that all stuff to the user. Okay, so in a menu I'm going to write cout. Okay, welcome to the project document. Okay, so now the next line that would be like please enter the following option to operate. Okay, new line. Now I'm going to put all the options on the right user. So press press 1, 2, save record, new line. Let's copy this. On the 24 5 options again. So here let's do this 2, and then save to display all ports. Press 3 to search particular record. Now the fourth one would be modify fourth one would be to modify record, and the fifth one to delete specific record, and the last one would be if you don't want to do anything. So in that particular case, it would be press 6 to exit. Not record. It should be a simple exit. Okay, so now okay, that's it. So I have created a menu. So now I'm going to call that menu from a main. Now I want to execute my program again and again if user is going to press 1, 2, 3, 4 or a 5. But whenever user is going to press 6, only then my program will stop. So for that, I'm going to use while loop. While 1, it would always remain true. While 1 means true. So here I'm going to call menu over here. So now it is going to call the menu fine again and again until user is going to press 6. Fine. So now the menu is displayed. So now here the user is going to press something. So let's declare an integer or a variable to store the option or the whatever the number user has been selected. So now int let's take a choice. Okay, so int choice. So here within the while I'm going to switch this switch statement, switch choice. So whatever the user is going to enter. So now here let's take that particular input from the user with the choice. Now I'm going to switch the choice, switch. So this is my switch block now. So let's make a more indentation so that I can segregate that logic, classify that logic. Okay, so now switch case, if user is going to press 1, what it should do? So it should do some task over here, and after that break, I'm just making the layout, and we are going to fill that the blanks with our logic later on. Okay, so this would be my case second. Fine. If you're going to press 2, okay, then break. Let's copy that stuff and paste it so that we can do it a little bit faster. Okay, it should be okay. Okay, so it would be case 3 and case 4, and that is switch closing, and case 5 and case 6, because 6 option we are going to code. Now at the 6 option, instead of break, I'm going to use exit 0. Exit 0 we are going to use to exit from the program. Fine. Okay, so if I'm going to execute this, so it is asking me one value. Fine. Okay, while 1 means whenever you are going to press 6, only then your program is going to be terminated. I hadn't put any logic, so let's see that how this is going to work. Okay, first I have to save my program. Let's give a name CPP project. Now I'm expecting. Okay, so what it says expected. Okay, I forgot to put a semicolon over here. Let's execute this again. Okay, what it says, I should put a semicolon before numeric constant somewhere. I forgot to put int choice menu. Call that menu. See choice, switch, choice, break. Case 1, case 2, case 3, case 4, case 5, case 6. What's wrong with this? Okay, well, let's put it in a function, but I don't think so. That is the matter over here. Okay, so it should be in a curly brace. So exit is a function, you have to pass a parameter, so that is 0. So now, okay, if I'm going to press 1, fine, I hadn't coded anything. Fine, again, it's going to display something 2, 3, 4, 5, and that is taking all the input, but whenever I'm going to press 6, now it has exit my code. So that is the case. That is the structure, that how you program, the basic layout of your program. So now let's do some constructive stuff regarding to the data. For the data, I'm going to create a class. Let's give it name record. Okay, so this is my class structure, and here I'm going to declare the private data section int data. So I'm just taking a generic name, fine. So you can go for some useful construct according to your project. Just this is a generic project. So here I'm going to take char data 60. So I'm taking two different type of data type. Fine. One is an integer. Let's take it as a key. So why I took it as a key? So it should be some key element from which you want to search, like any unique roll number. Let's suppose you're developing a project for the banking system. So the account number is a unique. Fine. So instead of a key, you can replace it with a account number, or the case may be. So in a public declaration, so I'm going to declare two methods, void input. So what input will do, it will ask the user to enter the key and data. Okay, please enter the key and the data field of record. New line constant. Okay, so now see in key and see in data. So let's ask the user one by one, so that user will not get confused that should I key in the key or the data. Please enter the key field. I should delete this. So after the second in, please enter data field. Okay, so this would ask the user and to take an input. Similarly, void show. In a show, I'm going to display whatever the data is in the object. See out the data, or you can say the okay, just new line. Just create a new line for the display. Now key, and you can give some stuff, or just put a simple colon. Key equals to key, and then give some tab space for the field separator. Fine. Now here let's data is data, simple input and a show method, and you can see here the save data, display data, search. Now the third one is a search. For the search, what I'm going to do, I'm going to declare one more method, that is int what should I give a name, rt underscore key, return me a key. So here I will say return key. So why return key? So whenever I'm going to search some record, so I'm going to make use of that key, that is that account number is present in your file. Fine. So I want to have a key of that particular object. Because we are dealing with the object, we can't access the private data. So look, these two are in a private declaration. So this, by this method, I will read the key. This function is going to return me an integer that is a key. Okay, so now this was our class layout. Fine. The first step was to design your menu, and the second was your program structure, and third one is your whatever the class, whatever the format or the pattern or the blueprint of your data, and which method you want to apply on them. Okay, so now let's code our these cases. The first case was to save the data into the file. Okay, so the first case is saving data to file. So now I have to create a file stream so that we can deal with the file. Okay, so this is a okay, so here I'm going to declare f stream. Let's give a name, f stream f file, small letter. Okay, so file is my stream. Fine, so I'm going to use this stream. Fine, time to time I'm going to open this either in reading or writing mode. Fine, and I'm going to close it when necessary. Okay, so let's okay, file open. Okay, so here in a case one, okay, that is file dot open. Okay, now I'm going to create a file over here, file dot open data, comma iOS. Now I'm going to save into the file, means I'm going to write into the file. So my file mode should be open. Where it goes? Okay, iOS. Let's iOS. So here we are having a out. Sorry, that's why I'm going to iOS out. Okay, I have opened my file in a writing mode. Fine. So now I want to write some data. Before writing something to the data, I should need a data. So now let's again create an object in a main of a class record. We have created a class record. Let's create an object for that, and we are going to use this object to read and write the data from the file or from the user. Record, let's take it obj. Right? So I have declared one object. So here before opening our data or a file, let's create obj dot input. Let's take a data from the user. Now my data is initialized, my object is initialized. Now I open a file, and then now I'm going to write that thing into the file. So that would be file.open. Now okay, it should be file dot open. Okay, file dot write. I'm going to write into the file with the two argument. Fine, first would be the char star and the reference of my object obj, and second would be the size. Okay, it should be size of obj objects. So now this was our first step. I have wrote something into the file. I open a file in the output file mode. Fine. And now the thing is that whenever you're going to open that file, so it is going to be start from any random location. So here I'm going to segregate it with iOS append so that it will not hinder our previous data. Okay, so let's try this, the first case. Okay, so welcome to the project development. Okay, so press 1 to save the record. 1. So now I have coded some code or logic for the option 1. So it said that please enter the key field. So key field, let's suppose 1 is my key field. Please enter the data field A, B, C, D, E. Enter. Fine. Okay. So now 6 to exit. 6 to exit. Perfectly fine. Let's see. So this is my data file. So let's open this file with any editor. So there is some data. Actually, you are writing the object or record into the file. So it's having an encoding. You can't read from the plain text. Okay. So till now. Okay. One more thing. I'm going to break this. Okay. Before break, I want to retain my screen over there until user is going to press that particular any key. So for that, system pause. I think this is a specific function. Um, okay, so here you can make it more eye catchy, like see out. Data written successfully. So here, while writing to the file, you can system CLS to clear the screen. Fine. So it's going to clear the screen after but I don't want a menu, so I want to display the whatever the action you have taken. So clear the screen. It will display enter the key to continue. Okay, so clear the screen. The following data written successfully. It should be the following data written successfully. Obviously, there should be a new line constant, and here obj dot show. Now let's see. Okay, so it says that okay, so just typing mistake. Okay, I want to write some data. Press enter. Okay, enter the key field. So let's take it as a 2. It should be QWERTY. Okay, the following data written successfully. Key and the data. So I should put that new line over here. Fine. Okay, so rest is fine. Press any key to continue. So again the menu is displayed and 6 to exit. Fine. Okay, so here in class void show data. After that, I'm going to put end line. Fine. Okay. So this was our very first case, saving a data. Now to display our data, second one which we have put the display or show all records from a file. From the file. So now I'm interested that what are the number of records are stored into the file. So okay, here object.show. Fine. So now and one thing I forgot. So after I have wrote the data, fine. So I should close the stream. So it's a wiser approach. File dot close, so that in the future we will not have any mismatch with respect to the stream. So to show the record, so file dot open, again I have to open, so I just copy paste it, but here I'm going to put that thing in an input mode because I want to read the file, so that's why it would be in an input mode. So here I'm going to write while there is some data into the file, what it's going to do, it's going to okay, so wait, file, right? So I'm going to copy this because the read syntax is almost the same. So I'm reading the object, fine, and okay, with this file dot read, okay, So now that thing is read into the object, so it should be object dot show. So now the first time the first record is read in that object, and I'm going to show that with the object dot show function, which we have defined in a class record. So now second time it's going to read the second object, fine, and again I'm calling the show function, read the third, fourth, fifth record, and so on. Depends on the how many number of records are there. Okay, so again I'm going to write system.pause, fine, so that definitely it will not land up to that menu. So okay, so what's wrong with this? It says that okay, by mistake. Okay, let's execute this. What is happening over here? File.open data iOS in input mode while file.read. Okay, so char star ampersand object size of obj, everything is fine. So okay, so I thought that shouldn't put this, but it shouldn't give me an error for that. Okay, so this closing, okay, so I forgot to put the closing of this. Okay, now it's perfectly fine. Okay, so option 1 we already tested. Let's try the option 2. So key 1, it is not showing the data field. So what's wrong with that? Okay, so one thing we are doing wrong, that is I want to specify that I'm going to write that data into the binary. Okay, so because we are dealing with the object, so we are going to use that thing in a binary mode. This would usually happen when you are not specifying a binary mode for the right. So I'm going to read that the binary mode. So I'm going to write that into the binary mode. So I hope this time it is going to work. So let's see. Okay, so what's over here? So column. So it should be a scope resolution operator. So in case I was interested. So now let's run the program. Okay. So first record, it's DevC. Okay, again I want to enter the record. So second record, that would be BBB. Now I'm going to display all the records. Same thing, stuck somewhere. Okay, so that was just a silly mistake. So we should give the size of our data. We hadn't given the size, so that's why it's wrote some random stuff. Fine, and now let's again test our program for the reading a content from a file. So let's put some record 1 a. So this is my first data, and second data would be my so I have to, so that was our silly mistake. So what's permission denied, previous instances running, so that's why. Okay, so let's close this and delete the data part, data file. Now, so that was the culprit statement for us. Now save record. First record AAA, and again I want to enter the second record. Second record is my BBB. Okay, so now I want to display all the records. So now it's fine. Now it's fine. Only the whatever we have defined the data member, we should specify the size over here. So Now let's code for the third one. Third one was searching. Now I want to search some record from my file. Okay, the searching would be almost equal to basic underline is that we are going to read the content first. Let's do proper formatting manner. So it would be, so I'm going to paste it over here. So I'm going to open a file in input file mode. Okay, binary. Okay, so I'm going to delete this commented line. No need for that even. So no, that is almost perfect. But I just have to tweak my code. Okay, so I am going to read this. Okay, third one is what we are trying to do. I am trying to do a search a record. So third one is searching a record from um, from file. Yeah, I'm going to search the record from a file so that I'm going to open my file in a read mode. Fine, I'm reading the content. Okay, so now first I'm going to ask the user. Uh, okay, here should be a first system CLS. I'm going to clear the screen CLS. Now the new menu would be displayed, not a menu, just a new line. That would be statement like enter the record you want to search. Okay, it should be like this. Now we are using cin to store some that variable. It should be like int. That was the key, local key. So let's take a k to avoid the confusion between the naming convention of a variable. So now I want to search a k. Now here I'm not going to display all the objects. So rather, if okay, now file dot open, file dot read. Now uh, if sorry obj dot return key, that is the member function we have declared for this purpose only. So if that return key that is equal to k, then object dot show else part I'm not going to put it inside because that is inside a loop, so that is going to take every wrong case. So here let's take some flag variable int flag, give any value 0 1. So if object is present, then break from this loop, no need to check further. Else set your FLG flag to 1. Flag 1 here means that the record not found. So outside of this while loop, I'm going to code if flag equals to 1. So I'm going to write cout sorry record not found, and after that system pause. Okay, so it's up to you. I want to close the file whenever I'm done with the file handling part. So that is up to the file. So file dot close. After that, I'm reading the flag. Okay, that is already system dot pause. So I'm going to delete this from here. just a previous code. Okay, so that is to search a record from a file. So let's again execute this. Okay. Okay, I should put a if in a block because there are more than one statements, so it would be like this. Okay, so first option we already tested. Now let's go for the third one. Enter the record. I want to search for the one data key. Okay, fine. Record found. Now let's try to search something which is not in our file. Let's suppose 8. Sorry, record not found. Please enter any key to continue. So it's fine. 6 to exit. We already coded for the 6. Okay. So now, sorry, no, record not found. It should be a new line over here. Okay, now the fourth one. Let's go for the fourth one. Our fourth one says the modifying the data record from a file. So fourth one says I should modify the data or a record in a file. So how to modify? So to modify again, first you have to search that particular data, and then we are going to use some modification on that. Okay. So again, I'm going to copy the previous all code for the searching, Control C, and here I'm going to paste that. So this is for the modification. Okay, in enter the record you want to modify instead of search. I'm going to write modify or edit. Fine. So we just key in the key, enter the record key field. Rather, you should mention key field, or just like a bank account that if you want to add a money or delete a money. I'm relating that thing with the real world scenario. So you have to give that key field, fine, so that you can find a record. That is k file dot open input mode. Okay, flag 0 file dot read. If object dot return key, that is equal to key object. Okay. So now I'm not going to close my file over here because just this is the logic to see your record was found or not. So if record is found, okay. So now if I'm going to return key, so we are going to do something inside this. Okay. So here, okay. So last object is red, that is show. So here, if flag equals to 0, it means the object is red. Okay, last time the object is red. Now I'm going to write a code for the modification over here. Okay. Cout data key found, or you can say key found with following details. Fine, key found with the following details. So here the data are read in the object dot show. Now here cout, do you want to still edit scene, just to make it more interactive. So here is a flag, but there are more variable that would be end, take any ch. Okay, do you want to still edit see in ch, that would be in a ch, or you can take it as a character, that would be more relevant. char. Do you want to still add it? Y and N. See in ch. Now, if ch equals to your y, or ch equals to maybe capital Y, user is going to put a capital Y. So now, look, it's like, when you are writing something into the file, that is one record, second record, third record. So now let's consider I'm having a 4 record into the file. So when I am looking for that record, so I read the first record, I read the second record, now I read the third record, then I read the fourth record. So this is the fourth record. That's why there are 5 records, right? So now when I read the fourth record, your pointer is after the fourth record. After reading first one, second, third, fourth. So my pointer is here. If I'm going to add something over here, it means I'm going to add the fifth one. But I want to add this one. So here I'm going to change my pointer to the starting of this record. So how we are going to do that? Okay, we are going to use seek p, put pointer. So here seek, okay, so file dot seek p. So now I'm going to calculate the size of object, fine, and I'm going to make reverse to that number of bytes. How we are going to do that? Let's see. File cp. First one would be offset. That is size of obj, size of your object, that is -1 into the size of object, comma ios cur current. So now I'm in this statement, I just stated that from the current location, take a negative size of object and put that pointer over there. So now whenever I'm going to write it, so that would be starting of this object. Okay, so now here I'm going to call obj. Let's declare some another object. We can do it in a plenty of ways. Okay, so object. Okay, object dot show. So I'm going to use the same object obj dot input, again taking the data from a user. Fine. Now, sorry. Okay, so that is initializing the object with new data. Fine. So now I'm going to write that object. So now you can see that here we are reading and writing both. So I have to change my open mode in iOS in, comma iOS out. Fine. Okay, so sorry, my mistake. I usually do this. So here should be not a comma, that should be a or operator. So now I'm going to write that thing onto the file, that is file dot write what first type conversion, that is a reference of object. So it would be the reference of object, and second one would be the size of object. Fine. So I have wrote that particular file, particular object at the starting of that bytes. Okay. So now, if that one has been done, if flag is equal to 0, okay. Do you still want to write? Okay. So you can do one more thing. Okay. Why there are 2 breaks? Okay. I think I accidentally pressed some delete button or that kind of thing. Okay. If okay, I'm not going to use a if. Here should be a simple else statement. Sorry, record not found. System dot pause. Fine, 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 fine. Okay. So let's review this code. Modify. Okay, enter this key. Okay. That particular code I want to modify. Uh, Open data in input and output mode. So I'm reading the file. Fine. Reading the file. Okay. Okay. Flag equal to 0. So just a CP put pointer. I just modify the put pointer. Okay, fine. So let's execute this. So this was option number 4. Okay, so let's okay, there are two data in my file. Okay, so now let's modify the second one. So modify, I'm having the option number 4. 4 option number. Enter the record. Second record I want to modify. Sorry, record not found. So something wrong with the our logic. Enter the record key file you want to modify. Add it to. Okay, 6. Let's see. Let's tweak our code. Modify record into the file. Okay, open input output binary flag 0 character file dot read. I have read that file. If object of a key, okay, object dot show, it means okay. Let's execute again. Fourth for the modification. Second record. Okay, it is displaying as well as writing that message that the record not found. So let's see. Object dot show, it means it is perfectly fine, and flag is equal to 1. Initially flag is equal to 0. So flag is 1. Let's do one thing. Flag equals to 0. Sign flag equal to 0 because I am not modifying that thing. Okay, so flag equal to 0 and a break. Fine. Whenever object is found, I am going to resetting the flag. Okay, if flag equal to 0, key found. Okay, let's execute it again. Previous instance is running. So okay, now modify the record. Modify the record. I want to record. Modify the second record. So do you want to still edit? So it's fine. So yes, I want to edit it. So key field would be 2. Enter the data field instead of BBB it should be some capital B, let's suppose. Okay, so now display all the record. Okay, so second option, display all the record. What happened to display all the records? So it's A, and you can see here the data is modified, right? Okay, so now our this logic is also completed. So the fifth one is to delete some record into the file. Delete record from a file. So now I want to delete some record from a file. Okay, so that is again I have to search that particular record. Fine. Now there are plenty of a method, so I will go for the simple method. Fine. The first one is just to read the content of a file into another file and skipping that particular item to read, and then again continue with the rest of the record. And now I'm creating a separate file, just eliminating that particular record. Fine. So then I'm having that file without that particular data, and I'm going to rename that file to the original file name. Fine. The second would be a little bit complex task, that is to take your that again that put pointer, just like you have modify it. Fine. Now you are going to modify that particular location with the last object, and that would make your logic more complex. So I want to make it a simple one. So here, okay, let's copy again the search code. So case 3 was for the searching one, 81 line. Okay. Let's do in this manner. Okay, so this would be the record for the deleted one. Fine. Okay, so okay, I paste the break with the previous code. I already put a break over here. So now this is to delete our record. So enter the record you want to delete. I'm going to modify that again that code. So k record I want to delete. File dot open again that is going to read, that is an input mode. Fine. Okay, flag is equal to 0. Object dot write key is equal to k. Object dot show. No, I don't want to show it. Okay. If key is found, just we are doing that thing with a flag. Flag equals to 0. Flag equal to 0 means the record found. Else flag is equal to 1. No record found. Okay. So I'm not going to close a file over here because I want to re-read it. That is just the logic to to check that record is present or not. So I'm going to search a file. If record is present, then I will go for the delete operation. Okay, so I need one more file as we already discussed. So here, okay, here you can declare that file anywhere. So that file would be OF stream, output file stream, T file, you can say T file, that is a temporary file. You can name some data BKP for the backup. That's it. So you want to create just temporary file, so that is more than sufficient. I don't want to append, I just want to write that file, write into that file. Okay, so now if flag equal to 1, sorry, code font. So okay, if flag equal to 0, okay, I'm going to modify this record. Okay, so else, oh, okay, so I can use that same stuff instead of deleting it. So flag equal to 0. Okay, then do this stuff, and else cout, sorry, record not found. Fine. Okay, if flag equal to 0, what I'm going to do, so again copy this while loop. Okay, so just make more indentations. Fine. Okay, I'm going to paste it from here. What I did. Okay. Okay, so now this while loop would be within the if block. Fine. So let me format it. So I usually comfortable with these formatting environment. Okay, so now if flag is equal to 0, it means I found the data. Now I'm going to, okay, now I'm going to read that file from the starting, not where we have left over. So here file dot seek get pointer, seek g 0. Fine. I will read that file from the starting. While it's a data. Fine. Okay, if object the key. Okay, here you can say if not equal to key. If not equal to key, so no further check is needed. So I'm going to delete this flag. Okay, flag. Okay, so now if that is not equal to key, we are going to write that thing into our file. This is T file. So now data is read in an object. Fine. So T file dot write what? O, okay, it's ampersand obj, and as I'm working with a file, it should be char star. I'm dealing with a character with a file, and second argument would be the size of obj. So if that is not a key, then I'm going to write that stuff into the another file. Okay, else flag. So skipping this part. So I'm going to summarize it at the end, fine, so that it would be more clear. Okay, so now that is just I read that data and I found that my data is over there or not. If data is there, now I'm going to read the data and put it into the another file, fine. And I'm skipping that particular key. If that is not a key, then it's going to write the data into the file. If that is equal to key, then this operation will not perform. Okay, so no break is needed in this particular case. Okay, else if flag is equal to 1, fine. So then sorry, record not found. But okay, record okay, flag. So that is a wrong place for the data, fine. So it should be not here. Instead, here you are going to write that like cout data deleted successfully. Okay, so now here I'm having that file. Okay, where did I start? Okay, so it would be here, right? Okay, so data wrote successfully, but before that, I want to perform some operation. Like I want to delete, delete. No, delete is a keyword for the dynamic memory allocation. So that is remove. I want to remove the file, fine, and I want to rename by that you can say old file and new file. So old file was T what was the file name? Data backup, fine. Data backup. Okay, so old file name is data backup, and that should be in a quotation mark, fine. Comma, the second argument would be so that shouldn't be a file of that is data, so here should be data. So rename old and new. So I deleted the previous file, the data file, and my new data without that particular record is in this file, and now I am renamed back into the data file, so that whenever I'm going to put the operation, so that would be on this file, fine. Okay, so now here, okay, else flag no record found. So here what I had copied from there, okay, so I have lost that thing. So here you can write if flag equals to 1. Okay, so you already put a condition over here, fine. So you can put else data not found over here, else cout data not found, semicolon /n. So okay, now so with this we have done with all the exercise of our program. Fine. Okay, so let's execute it. Okay, the first one is to save a record. I want to enter a new record. Key field is a 3 and the data is now CCC. Okay, so to display all the records has been displayed. To search a particular record for the 3, and in between, after this second option, display all the record, you can use that system.cls. So now this is the basics. You can format it according to your need and requirement. 3 is to search a particular record. So third one is okay, record found. So fourth one is modify the record. Fourth one, modify the record. Let's added this one. Yes, I want to added this. So the key field would be the same. Data field would be now the capital C. Okay, so modification record has been done. Now the okay, again, to display all the records. Okay, sorry. Okay, display all the records. Now to delete a specific record. To delete a specific record. Now fifth one. Let's execute the fifth one. Fifth one. Fifth one is not working. So what happened? Fifth. Enter. Yes. The record you want to delete. So let's suppose I want to delete the very first record. First record. Data deleted successfully. So now let's see that does it happen. So how we are going to check and to display all the records. So display data has not been deleted. Okay. So what is the problem with the display? Okay, let's display is fine, but let's see where is the display. File open, binary file. Okay. Okay, modification done. Okay, we should close both of the file stream, remove, rename. I think before remove and rename, we should close the file streams. File dot close, and second one is a t file dot close. Right. So let's now see what will happen. 5, delete a specific record. I want to remove the first record, so display all the contents. So now that was the thing, we hadn't closed the file. So in this way you can create your project. Fine, you can modify this thing, fine, according to your need. Fine. And okay, I forgot to mention one thing. If user is going to press some option which is not relevant, in that case I'm going to define a default case. So in default case, I'm going to mention please enter the valid option slash. So let's compile our program to see that is there any another error. It's fine. So that's all. Hope you will find it very useful, and if you like it, just do comment and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.